Hi, hello. Welcome back to another video lesson which is all about the parallel lines cut by a transversal part 2. Part 2 because yesterday we already have started the parallel lines cut by a transversal wherein we have discussed all the angle pairs that can be formed or that will be formed if you have the parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay? So, what you are going to learn for this video or from this video are the following. We have recalled the angle pairs formed when parallel lines are cut by transversal. 2. Use the properties of parallel lines to find the measures of the angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. 3. Respond enthusiastically in solving the missing measures of angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay? So before we proceed with our discussion, let's have a recap or recall wherein you are going to have this activity, name it. Okay? So I will show you some figures and you are going to have the label of that figure. So like this one, what do you call this part or this region? That's correct. We have the interior region. Okay? How about this part? So since we have already the interior region, so what do you call this? The blue ones. The two blue regions. Okay, correct. We have the exterior region or regions. Okay, how about this colored angle? What do you call them? Correct. We have the interior angles. Okay, next, how about this one? Okay, these two angles with given markings. What do you call them? Yes, they are examples of corresponding angles. Next figure, we have this one. What do you call angle 1 and angle 2? That's correct. They are what we call the alternate interior angles. Correct. Next, how about this figure? What do you call angle 1 and angle 8? Okay, so they are the same side exterior angles. Okay, how about this figure? What do you call angle 1 and angle 2? Okay, they are what we call the alternate exterior angles. Okay, how about this one? Okay, so they are the same side interior angles. Okay, so I hope you have recalled the angle pairs formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. So in this slide, we are going to have the properties. Okay, the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. So the first one is about the alternate interior angles. Okay, so we have the alternate interior angles theorem wherein if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, so as you have seen, we have here the examples of alternate interior angles. We have angle 4 and angle 6, then angle 3 and angle 5. Again, alternate interior angles. Okay? So what if you are given angle 6 with a measure of 110 degrees? Okay? What do you think is the measure of angle 4? Okay, that's correct. We have here 100. Okay, sorry. We also have here 110 degrees. Okay, sorry. So we have here 110 degrees. Okay, how about the next property? We have about the alternate exterior angle, okay, or alternate exterior angle theorem. It is said that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, so the alternate exterior angles here are angles 1 and 7, and angles 2 and 8. Okay, so that's correct. So we have here, the colored one. Okay, so what if you are given the measure of angle 1, which is 70 degrees? Okay, what should be the measure of angle 7? Okay, that's correct. We have here also, since alternate exterior angles are congruent, so we also have here 70 degrees. Okay, that's correct. Okay, so let's have the next property, which is all about the corresponding angles. Okay, so it is said that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent. So we have here the corresponding angles 1 and 5, 4 and 8, angles 2 and 6, and angles 3 and 7. So if you are given the measure of angle 2, which is 110 degrees, what should be the measure of angle 6? Okay, that's correct. We also have here 110 degrees. Okay, again, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, for the next property, let us have same side exterior angle. Okay, so in this theorem, we have if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then same side exterior angles are supplementary. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed already the supplementary, the meaning of supplementary, wherein the sum of the two angles should be 180 degrees. Okay, so therefore, if you are given, okay, so we have here the examples of same side exterior angle. We have angles 8 and 1 and angles 2 and 7. So if you are given angle 8, which has the measure of 110 degrees, what should be the measure of angle 1? Since they are supplementary. Okay, that's correct. So you have 180 minus 110 is 70 degrees. Is correct. Okay. Another property is about the same side interior angle. Okay. So we have same side interior angle theorem, wherein it is said that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then same side interior angles are supplementary. So again, they are supplementary. So we have here the examples of same side interior angle. So we have angle 4 and angle 5. And another pair is angle 6 and angle 3. Okay? So if you are given angle 3, which is 70 degrees, what should be the measure of angle 6? Okay, that's correct. We have here 110 degrees. Again, they are supplementary. Okay, any question? Okay, so let's try if you really understood the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, so you are going to name an angle congruent to angle 2. Okay, so what are the angles here from numbers 1 to 8 that are congruent? That's correct. We have angles 2, 3, 6, and 7 are congruent angles. Okay, next question. Which angles are alternate interior angles? That's correct. We have angles 3 and 6 and angles 4 and 5. Okay? We have to take note again the property about the alternate interior angles, wherein alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, next. Which angles are corresponding angles? Okay, so we have angles 1 and 5, angles 2 and 6, angles 3 and 7, and angles 4 and 8. Okay, so let's have the property about corresponding angles. They are, yes, so corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, correct. Okay, next question. Which angles are same side interior angles? Which do you think? Okay, so that's correct. We have angles 3 and 5 and angles 4 and 6. The property about the same side interior angles is that same side interior angles are supplementary. Okay, next. Which angles are alternate exterior angles? That's correct. Angles 1 and 8 and angles 2 and 7. The property about this is alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, next. How are we going to apply those properties of the parallel lines cut by a transversal? Okay, for example, we have here the question, what is the measure of angle 5 using this figure? That's correct. We have here, angle 5 is also equal to 135 degrees. So how are we going to get 135 also in as the measure of angle 5? Yes, we are going to use the property about the corresponding angles. Take note that corresponding angles are congruent since the two angles are having the relation of corresponding, okay, or correspondence, or they are corresponding angles. Next, what is the measure of angle PQR? Okay, so you are going to find for the measure of this angle PQR. So you are going to take note of the given. What is the relation of this angle with the measure of 120 degrees to this angle? Yes, they are alternate interior angles. So therefore, angle PQR is also 120 degrees. Again, when we say alternate interior angles, they are congruent. Okay, next. What is the measure of angle 9? Okay, that's correct. So that is also 90 degrees. So since we have here the symbol for perpendicularity, so we have here angle 9 is also 90 degrees because we have the property that the alternate exterior angles are congruent. Next, what is the measure of angle 6? So you are going to take note of their relationship. So the measure of angle 6 is correct, 50 degrees. Okay? Because they have the relationship they are examples of the same side interior angles. Okay? Take note that the same side interior angles are supplementary. Okay? So find the measure of the following. So let's have a quite complicated example here, where line 1 is parallel to line 2 and the measure of angle 1 is 65 degrees. Okay? So again, the measure of this angle is 65 degrees. Okay? So what will be the measure of angle 5? Okay, that's correct. We have here 115. Why? Because the relationship of angle 5 with angle 1 is, yes, same side exterior angle. So they are supplementary. Next, how about the measure of angle 3? Okay, that's correct. That is also 115 degrees. Okay, because they formed linear pair. Okay, so that is a straight angle. So that is angle 3 is 115 degrees also. Next, how about angle 7? Okay, so what do you think is the measure of angle 7? That's correct. We have 65 degrees because they are alternate exterior angles. So the property about that is they are congruent. Next, how about angle 2? Okay, so we have here angle 2 is 115 degrees. Again, angle 2 with angle 1, they formed linear pair. Okay, or maybe you can use the measure of angle 5, which is a corresponding angle with angle 2. Since angle 5 is 115 degrees, so we also have angle 2 as 115 degrees. Okay, how about the angle 8? Okay, so we have here 65 degrees because if we are going to relate angle 8 with angle 1, so they are corresponding angles. Okay, so to continue, again, using the measure of angle 1 is 65 degrees, what is the measure of angle 6? Okay, so we have to take a recall. So again, angle 1 is 65 degrees. Of course, angle 5 is also 65 degrees. Okay, rather. This is 115. Okay, sorry. So this is 115 degrees. So what is the measure of angle 6? Okay, so this is also 115 degrees. So you may use the concept of vertical angles here. Okay? Again, vertical angles are congruent. So that's why this is also 115 degrees. How about angles, or angle 4 rather? Okay, so angle 4 is 65 degrees. Okay, again, we can use the concept of vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Okay, how about the measure of angle 1 and angle 5, or plus the measure of angle 5? Okay, so that is equal to 180 because they are same side exterior angles. Okay, again, same side exterior angles are supplementary. Okay, how about the measure of angle 6 plus the measure of angle 8? Okay, so this will be equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because they formed linear pair. Okay. How about angle 4? The measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 3. Okay, they are also equal to 180 because they formed linear pair. Or simply, we have here 65 degrees and we have here 115 degrees. So just add them, so they are equal to 180. Okay, any question? Okay, so let's try this figure. What if you are given line D and line E? So we have find the value of X so that D is parallel to E. Okay, so how are you going to solve this? Okay, so you are going to take note first of what will be their relationship. What is the relationship of this angle with a measure of 3x plus 6 degrees and 120 degrees? What do you call these two pairs or these pairs of angles? Okay, so we have alternate interior angles. Okay, so we have to take note that alternate interior angles are congruent. So for you to solve this, you are going to have 3x plus 6 is equal to 120. And then you will have here 3x equals 120 minus 6. Again, using addition property of equality. Do not forget that. Then we have here 3x equals 114. Then divide both sides of the equation by 3. So the value of your x now is equal to, okay, so we have x is equal to 38 or 38 degrees. Okay, any question? Okay, so let's have this one. You can do it. So you have to try it and let's proceed. Okay, so we have here the real figure. So given line M is parallel to line N, and the measure of angle 1 is 3x plus 3, and the measure of angle 7 is 4x minus 12. So you are going to find for the measure of each angle. Okay, so I already have here the measure of angle 1. So how are we going to obtain the measure of angle 1? We have to take note of the measure, the given. We have angle 1 and angle 7. Take note that they are examples of alternate interior angles and they are congruent. So you are going to equate the given. So 3x plus 3 equals 4x minus 12. So you will have here 4x minus 3x and then 3 plus 12. 3 plus 12 is 15 equals x. Okay, so our x or the value of our x is equal to 15. So if we are going to substitute 15 in place of x, 3 times 15 is 45 plus 3. So that's why we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to 48 degrees. Okay, so how about the measure of angle 2? Okay, so we have here 132 is correct. Okay, so if you don't have your idea, since we have here 48 degrees and they formed linear pairs, so 180 minus 48 is equal to 132 degrees. Correct. How about the measure of angle 3? Okay, so angle 3 is equal to 48 degrees. So you may apply the corresponding angles here. Okay, so that is how simple you are going to solve this. Okay, how about, okay, so using again the figure, again our angle 1, if you are going to take a look on the previous slide, our angle 1 is 48 degrees. Of course, with angle 3 is also 48 degrees. Then angle 2 is 132 degrees. So, let's proceed with angle 4. What's the measure of angle 4? That's correct. Okay, using again, you may use here the corresponding angles. You may also use linear pair and linear pair here. So, for you to solve angle 4. So, there are many ways on how you are going to solve for the missing measures of each angle. Okay? So, you have to take note of the relationships of the given angles here. Okay? So, let me delete first. Okay? So, let's have a clearer view of our answers. 48 degrees, 48 degrees, 132, 132 degrees. Okay? So, how about angle 5? Okay, that's correct. We have 48 degrees. Okay, so because angle 5 is a corresponding angle with angle 1. So that's correct. How about angle 6? That's correct. We have 132 degrees because that is congruent or corresponding with angle 2. Okay, or you may also have the linear pair here. Okay, so subtract 100. Okay, so why is it looks 45? It should be 48. Okay. So how about the measure of angle 7? So again, we have here angle 1 is 48. We have here 48. So this is 132, okay, degrees. Then 132 degrees. Okay. And then we are going to find here, so angle 5 is 48 degrees. Angle 6 is 132 degrees. So how are we going to look for the next angle? So we have here, okay, the measure of angle 7 is, okay, so again, you may use the corresponding angles and you may also have here the supplementary or the linear pairs. Okay, and the measure of angle 8 is, okay, correct. We have 132 degrees. Okay, so any questions so far? Okay, so that's all for this day. Thank you and God bless.